All right, we're going to go over your review again, just like we did in class, and hopefully it will help you prepare for your test tomorrow. So number 1 says Richie has $35 to spend on a cookie bouquet for his girlfriend. Each cookie costs $2.25. How many cookies can Richie put in the bouquet? And so since we're talking about an inequality and the most we can spend is $35, we want to say less than or equal to $35. What needs to be less than or equal to that amount? $2.25 for each cookie. So there's your multiply word. And then you divide both sides by $2.25. And you get x is less than or equal to 15.5. But how many cookies can he purchase? And you would say he can buy 15 cookies or less. If you try to round up to 16, well, $2.25 times 16 is $36. We do not have enough money for 16 cookies, so you have to round according to the symbol, which is less than. Number 2, brick wall. We have this 2 on the outside, and then we have a -3 here that's being multiplied. So we're going to do that first. We're going to use distributive property. Let's see if I can get this to focus. And so we're just going to leave the 2 out here, and I have -3x. -3 times 12 is -36, less than -13. And then I have like terms, so I'm going to combine them. And I have -3x minus 34 is less than -13. And now we're going to box in our variable. So we have -3x. We're going to add 34 to both sides. So -3x is less than 21. And then the last step is to divide. We're going to divide by -3. So when we divide by a negative, we flip the inequality sign around. So x is greater than -7. So if my coefficient of x is a negative number, this symbol flips around. Okay? Number 3. So I'm not sure how to say her name, but Meha, maybe, Maja, is saving money to buy a flat panel television. The model he wants sells for $3,500. He already has $450 saved and plans to save an additional $60 each week. Write an inequality 2 ways. That is very important. That's what most people missed on the quiz. To represent the number of weeks, W, it will take to save at least $3,500. So initially when I write this, I think about what at least means. It's just like you need at least a 70 to pass my class. You would need a 70 or more. So I need at least more than or equal to $3,500. So everything that I'm saving has to be more than this amount of money. So he already has $450, and he's adding $60 each week, so 60W. And then it says to write it 2 ways, which means we're literally going to pick this up off the paper and flip it over. So 3,500 is less than or equal to, and you can flip this around or you can write it the same way. The point though is that all of this stuff has to be bigger than the other side. So this is bigger than 3,500, or 3,500 is smaller than all of that. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Number 4. Betsy wants to save $5,800 for a trip she wants to take this summer. She currently has $990 in her bank account. Betsy earns $425 per day working, of which she saves $370. How many days until she reaches her goal of $5,800? So she currently has 990, so that's where we're going to start. And then she's going to add some amount of money. So she earns 425, but she only saves 370 of that. So we can only say plus 370 D, because we're talking about how many days, is equal to 5,800. All right, we're going to solve this. So I box in my variable, minus 990 on both sides. 370D equals 4810, and then we're going to divide both sides by 370. So D equals 13. So it will take her 13 days to save $5,800 total. Okay, it's very important that you know what you're talking about. So 13 days. Number 5, we're going to solve the equation. I'm first going to rewrite it. Brick wall. And what we're solving for is y. So I'm going to box it in. And then we're going to get rid of this 8x by making it a zero pair, so minus 8x on both sides. And put it out to the side because they're not like terms. Negative 5y equals 20 minus 8x. And then we're going to divide by negative 5. We're going to divide this whole side by negative 5. So y equals 20 minus 8x, all divided by negative 5. Excuse me. Alright, we're going to keep going. Number 6. Brick wall. So two-step equation, but it's a little bit more challenging because I threw in a fraction. The inverse of a positive 15 is a negative 15, so minus 15 on both sides. Negative 8 thirds x equals negative 87. And then remember, to get rid of fractions, we flip it and multiply. So we multiply by the reciprocal, which is negative 3/8 times negative 3/8. And if you just tap that in the calculator, you get 261 over 8. It doesn't simplify any further, and two negatives multiplying give you a positive. Alright, on to the back. Number 7. Bill has $415 in his savings account and is saving $15 per day. John has $875 in his savings account and is withdrawing $31 per day. When will Bill and John have the same amount of money? Write and solve an equation, then write a complete sentence explaining the meaning of the answer. So we want to know, when will Bill equal John? I'm going to underline Bill. He has $415 already, and then he is saving $15 per day, so it would look like this: 415 plus 15x. And then John has $875, and he is withdrawing, so we're taking away $31 per day. So his would look like this: 875 minus 31x. And now we're just going to solve it. Brick wall. We're going to move the variable to the left by adding. We could move the 15 to the right, but then we would end up with a bunch of negatives. So we're going to add 31x to both sides. 415 plus 46x equals 875. And now it looks like a normal two-step, minus 415 on both sides. 46x equals 460, and then we're going to divide both sides by 46. X equals 10. And remember, what does that 10 mean? Well, the per day, so here we're saying that the x we used is number of days. So our sentence would be that Bill and John will have the same amount of money in 10 days. All right, number 8. Solve the inequality and graph the solution on a number line. So brick wall, box in the variable, -8. That gives me negative 7x is less than 21. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 7. And remember the rule on the front, when you divide by a negative, you flip the inequality sign. So x is now greater than negative 3. And if I were to graph this on a number line, I would put negative 3, 0, and 3. And then greater than is an open circle shaded to the right because it's bigger. Anything bigger than negative 3 is a solution. So negative 2 is a solution, negative 1 is a solution, 3 is a solution, 500 is a solution. Anything bigger, which goes back to that one question that most people missed on the quiz because it asked what a solution was. So anything in the shaded area, anything that fits this inequality. All right, number 9. We have lots of things going on here. First is that we're going to distribute. 0.25 times 8 gives me 2x. 0.25 times negative 10 is a negative 2.5, equals 4 plus, and then here I have a 0.75 times x, which gives me 0.75x, and 0.75 times 24 is a positive 18. And now I have like terms that I need to put together, 4 and 18. So I'm just going to rewrite the rest of the problem. And then I have 0.75x plus 22. And now I'm going to move the variable to the left, minus 0.75x on both sides, which gives me 1.25x minus 2.5 equals 22. And this is just a matter of finishing to solve it now. Box in your variable, add 2.5, 1.25x equals 24.5. Then we divide both sides by 1.25, and x equals 19.6. Or you can change it to a fraction, which would be 98 over 5. However, I would let you leave this as a decimal answer because there were decimals in the problem itself. Number 10, brick wall. We're going to minus 2x on both sides. That gives me 7x minus 14 equals 1. Box in 7x. Add 14 to both sides. 7x equals 15. Divide both sides by 7, and that does not simplify. So this time you would just leave your answer as a fraction. So x is 15 over 7. And the very last one, Company A will print birthday invitations for $1.10 each, plus a setup fee of $38. Company B will print birthday invitations for 75 cents each, plus a setup charge of $47. Write an inequality to determine how many invitations can be purchased before Company A is more expensive than Company B. So I kind of like to write these ones out in words. When will Company A be more than Company B? More than would look like that. And so I did Company A in this purple color. So I have 110 for each invitation, which I'm going to say is X, plus a setup charge of $38 is greater than Company B, which charges 75 cents for each invitation plus $47 for the setup.